What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chronicles of the Creeks. Today we're here to discuss one of your most neglected hunting gear items, and it is an important one. So we've got several items we're going to discuss briefly, all of them being important. The one that we're here to discuss today is the one that I see most commonly neglected, forgotten, maybe it doesn't even cross people's mind, or maybe they just don't think it's important. We all know that we should be wearing our orange. Some states require you to wear an orange hat as well as an orange vest. There's a certain set number of inches in most states of blaze orange that we're required to wear by law. It's a good idea to wear it, but it's also the law, guys. So just make sure you're obeying the law in your state, wearing your orange on your chest, your back, and your head as required by law. Stay safe. Obviously, the worst thing that could happen to us in the woods is to get shot, and sadly, people do get shot. In hunting accidents, people shoot other people, mistaking them for a deer or other game or what have you, unfortunately, totally disregarding the rules of the 4 rules of firearm safety, not being sure of their target being one of them. So guys, make sure you're wearing your orange. But fortunately, I don't really see a lot of neglect in this area with the orange on social media, where it reveals other people's mistakes and reveals our own mistakes. I really don't see a lot of neglect in the orange department. So I see plenty of orange with people hunting. If they're not wearing orange, they're usually taking their picture with their harvest, which is understandable. But while you're hunting, you need to be wearing the orange even when you're on stand, and as well as to and from your stand. So good job on the orange, not seeing many problems there. One department where I am seeing a few problems is in the safety harness department. All right, so here I have a harness for both of my little girls. All right, you see a couple different sizes here. These are both Hunter Safety System harnesses. There's lots of good brands out there. They look nice, they're comfortable, they fit in all the right spots, especially for women and for young hunters as well. And we can rely on them. We know we're safe in them. To me, a harness is one of those things, kind of like a seatbelt. When I get in a vehicle, I don't feel comfortable riding that vehicle until I'm buckled up. I'm not aware if there are states that require you to wear hunter safety harnesses when you have left the ground. If there are states, guys, if you hunt in some of those states, if you're aware of some states that have laws regarding harnesses, hunter safety harnesses, when you're hunting off the ground, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know. I've never really had any experience with that. So if there are some, let me know. Guys, so nobody's out there, twisting your arm, making you put these on to get in the stand, but it's too easy not to. All right, guys, they're not that expensive. They last a long time. They're very comfortable to wear. And not to mention, you've got all these extra pockets for accessories. I slide my phone in here. I'm still seeing people on social media. I'm seeing people on TV. I'm reading stories. Just yesterday, I read a story about a young boy fell out of his tree stand. I say a young boy, he was probably 12 years old, fell out of his tree stand. He broke some bones. Super unfortunate, guys. If he'd been wearing one of these, he wouldn't have fallen. He may have fallen not very far before this would have caught him, obviously, and he may still have had some injuries, but he wouldn't have broken the bones that he broke and been as banged up as he was. If you want to hunt without one, that's up to you. But if your kids are hunting with you, you need to make sure they're wearing one of these. If your kids do hunt with you and you are leaving the ground and your children are not wearing one of these, then that's shame on you, guys. Shame on you. That is one of the biggest things you can do to protect your children. There's no sense in us putting them in harm's way, doing the sport that we love. We need to make sure they're safe. In the stupidity, wear a harness if you leave the ground. I'm gonna link all this stuff in the description below. The harness, as well as our Lifeline system. We've got a Lifeline system that we use on our ladder stands and even lock-ons too. It's a rope running from the very top where we hunt all the way down to the ground, to the bottom of the tree. And it's got a prusik knot, a little smaller rope on it with a carabiner on it. All right, and that carabiner clips right here in the loop on the tether on your harness. So you clip that carabiner there when you're standing on the ground, all right? So then you grab the knot on the prusik and slide it up that lifeline as you go. So you're connected the whole entire time. My daughters and I are connected the whole time we're climbing, the whole time we've left the ground. So there's no reason to be falling 15, 20 feet. I read about somebody just the other day fell 25 feet and their wife never saw him come home. Her and some friends went out looking for the guy, and they found him 25 feet at the bottom of his stand, dead. So, but if he'd been wearing a hunter safety harness, he would have had that feeling of security, and he would have also actually been secure. So just, guys, make sure you're fastened into your tree. When I was growing up, it was a little different. I had a belt with a buckle around it that I would cinch around my waist. And I got a little older and realized that probably wasn't the safest. I heard of it rupturing spleens when they fell. So I would actually start sliding it up to underneath my armpits and then tighten that loop down that goes over me. And my dad always taught me, you know, growing up, the way we did it back then, you know, we didn't have it just was, I don't know if it wasn't part of the culture back then, or I don't know if they just weren't as readily available, or I don't know, but it was 30 years ago, we were being taught, you know, he would tell me, when you get to the top of your tree, what's the first thing you do? He would quiz me. First thing I do is buckle my safety harness, put my safety harness on, wrap it around the tree, then put it around me, cinch it down. It's the first thing you do before you even do anything with your foot straps on your climber. First thing you do is buckle in. Well, guys, these days, you don't have to worry about that. The first thing you do, or the last thing you do before you start climbing to the top of your stand is lock in your harness. We put these on at the truck before we ever even hike to our stand. And then we clip in right here at the bottom of our tree, and we climb, and we do not take it off until we get back to the bottom. And I don't have to worry about it. It's such a good peace of mind, especially hunting with your children that you love dearly, knowing that they're not gonna fall clean out of that tree. So guys, that's a small price to pay for the peace of mind that it gives you, I promise you. So there's a lot of safety gear that's important to our life and our health, our safety and well-being. But guys, there's one thing that stands out in my mind the most, that I'm seeing people in person, people that I know, friends, family, people on Facebook groups, right? I see adults and children on Facebook groups that are hunting and forgetting this one item all the time. They're constantly forgetting this one thing, as important as it is, all right? And that one thing is ear probe. Guys, this is too simple, and your hearing is too precious of a sense to just throw away. Guys, as I stand here and make this video, stand here talking to you, I hear constant ringing in my ears. It never goes away. It's very quiet in this room. I have a constant ringing in my ears it's called tinnitus. And that comes from years and years of shooting guns and working around machinery and growing up on a farm and not wearing hearing protection. When I was growing up, we would wear hearing protection when we were shooting at the range, right? It was obvious we knew we were going to be making multiple shots, we'd be wearing hearing protection. But when we're hunting, we needed to communicate, so we would neglect our ear probe. And over the years, a shot here, 3 shots there, it adds up, and over time it does cause hearing damage and hearing loss. I know for years when I would be shooting a shotgun, clay targets, or hunting, dove hunting, duck hunting, I wouldn't wear any hearing protection. I'd want to communicate with who I was hunting with. You want to hear the birds as they come in. You want to hear those wings whistling, right? So we do place a value on being able to hear while we're hunting, but why don't we place that same value on being able to hear and protect our hearing, for the rest of our lives? Because I've done permanent damage to my hearing that can't be undone. And I don't want you to do the same. But the reason I wanted to discuss this one, guys, the reason this is a topic of conversation is because those are sometimes neglected. The orange, right? The safety harness. We do see and hear of people hunting without them. But guys, it's rare that I see or hear of people using hearing protection. It's rare. And I don't know why that is. I can say that it was only in the last probably 2 years, 3 years that I started using it, because I was training my daughters to hunt, and we wanted to communicate, right? So when I've got someone else in the stand with me, you want to communicate, especially if you're teaching them or if they're the ones doing the shooting, you've got to communicate. That's when, like going out west, I started taking these. These are just little earplugs. You can find these on Amazon, huge bulk packs for next to nothing. I'll link that in the description as well. But I bought a pack of these 6 or 7 years ago, and I've still got hundreds of them. Just huge bulk packs. I don't even remember what I paid for them. It's so insignificant, but I'll link that in the description if you want to go that route. You can take those things and you can tie them right here around your snapback, goes on super easy, and then when you need them, they're right there. You're hiking out through sandhills like where we hunted, you know, or wherever you are, sitting in a deer stand, you know, they're right there where you need them, when you need them. You just shove them in and you got them. Downside is you can't hear anything. But with these, we prefer these. These are the Walker game ears. I believe this is the slim model, the Razor, I think they call it. Yeah, Walker's Razor. They fit great, guys, which is a very important thing to consider, is the fit with your earmuffs. If you're gonna be using them, if your kids are gonna be using them, make sure you get some that fit you both. These right here fit us, they fit me, they fit my wife, they fit both of my girls. They're age 7 and 9. They fit them both wonderfully. Sometimes you have to make sure you get them adjusted right, because they are adjustable, but they adjust really quick and easily and go on just in an instant. These are electronic earmuffs. They make them that are not electronic. They make the electronic version, which are really not that expensive, really and truly. They make great, great gift items, guys. Coming up to Christmas, if you want to get someone a gift item, these things right here are very affordable for what they really are. I promise you, any sportsman is going to be very, very pleased to get a set of these, especially if it's a younger hunter. They may not realize the importance of it or the value of it yet, but the value of these things is way higher than the cost. I promise you that right now. I can promise you. They're super simple to use. Before you turn it on, be sure you put them on. If you don't, you get this loud feedback squeal. All right, that's not good. And you may have heard that in some of our videos where we got excited with deer in front of us and turn them on real quick before we put them on, get that electronic feedback. So first, you just put them on. They're short, so you pull them down and adjust them as you're applying them. All right, so it's good and snug, and then just take your power switch, conveniently located right there, and just turn it on. So it's actually amplifying the sound now. I sound like I'm yelling in this room, so if it's too loud, you turn it down. But you can also use this to hear, you can hear deer distances in the woods, but it amplifies. But when you fire your gun, it completely shuts off the sound. They fold down to nothing, as you can see. That packs into a backpack with ease. So you could put this in a cargo pocket even. It just packs down so small. So this particular model runs on 2 AAA batteries, and these batteries last forever in these things. Now, when we're using these, we don't just usually put these on and sit there and hunt with them on. The one downside that I have found to using these is when you put these on, you turn them on, you're listening, it amplifies the sound, but you're not really able to distinguish direction very, very well in these things. So we usually sit there, we'll open them up, all right? And we'll adjust them to about how we need them, maybe even put them on and then take them back off. But we'll take them and we'll slide them on our armrest or on the shooting rail of our stand or somewhere very convenient to get to without too much movement. And as soon as we see a deer, even one, sometimes even if we know it's not a deer we're gonna shoot, thinking there could be another one behind it, we'll go ahead and we'll put these on. We'll put these on, turn them on, we'll be talking to each other and communicating through these. And that way we're ready if we do see a target deer that we wanna shoot or do get a shot opportunity faster than we expect, we're not fumbling to get them on. Sometimes we do fumble to get them on. Deer come up unexpectedly, they're already in range, they're fumbling. There's one video, I think, where Whitley killed the 3 does. The first doe that came out, she's got her gun in her lap and I'm trying to put her headset on. It's like pulling her hat off and it's squeezing her face, and she's over there squinted eyes and got her hair all messed up and her hat's falling off. And so it's pretty funny, but for the most part, they're a blessing. They really are. We can communicate and still not damage our hearing. I will say also, growing up and shooting, hunting without hearing protection, I believe it may have contributed to some bad flinching habits. So get your kids a set of these, and I bet, and I don't know how you would measure this, you know, but I would be willing to bet that it would help develop some good shooting habits as well as good safe hunting habits. But guys, it's rare that you see people using anything like this on TV or, you know, Facebook or YouTube. It's rare that you see it, but it's too convenient to not use these. The price range on electronic earmuffs like these right here range anywhere from, you know, $35 to $50 and up. So, but for $50, you have options to pick from. I'm gonna have the link in the description. Just look down the description, click more, and then you'll see little blue links. Just look for the Walker's Razor electronic earmuffs, and that's what these are. They've got different colors. I think this is actually the Patriot version. It's got the Velcro American flag here, just like the flags you stick on your backpacks. But super cool, super stylish. They're very comfortable, very effective. So, all right, so you got the plugs I just showed you. You've got the electronic ear muffs. You've got non-electronic ear muffs, which are even cheaper. Then you've got the ones that go inside your ears. I'm not very sure of all the mechanisms of those. I've heard good things. I've read good reviews. There's different brands. Walkers makes them. There's also a new emerging brand out there called TETRA. All right, and I've listened to a podcast. I'll try to link that podcast on here. There was some guys from TETRA talking about their technology, and I'll be honest, I was pretty impressed. I was very impressed with what I heard about those guys on that podcast. They actually make a hearing protection device that fits inside your ear. You have the option to get it molded to your ear and get moldings made of your ear so that you can have them custom made to fit you. Or they have some that you could just buy, off the shelf, generic sizes. The technology that they've come out with is not only will it amplify their sounds, but it has frequencies that it amplifies as well and intensifies and pinpoints. So if you're turkey hunting, it can pinpoint a turkey's gobble and hear it more so than just someone wearing something like this. They tailor them for specific types of hunting based on specific frequencies. And it is fascinating. So check that podcast out. It's really cool stuff. I wanted a set, listening to them, listening to that podcast. I was sold. I really did want a set. Still do. But as I'm sure you're wondering, I was also wondering about the price. And I can tell you that from the best I've found, the prices on those start at around $700 to $1,000 and then go up from there depending on what you get and the different features and stuff. So if you're wanting to really spend some money looking at TETRA, I'm not sure the website, but just check out the links below. I'll link all this stuff. But guys, I'm not going to get too deep into the details and technicalities, decibels and that sort of thing, but we all know that shooting will damage your hearing. Can you damage your hearing with just one gunshot? Yes, you can. I have read different things, contradicting things, but I know from experience, from people that I know and love, they've had their hearing damaged from just one gunshot. Yeah, can I shoot without hearing protection and it not really bother me? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, can we tough it out? Yeah, I can tough it out, but it's gonna cost me. For the people watching this, for the viewers watching this, let's say you're older, you've already got some hearing loss that you're suffering from, or let's just say you don't have hearing loss, or maybe you even have constant tinnitus all the time, your ears just ring constantly. Get in the comments, tell these young viewers how important it is to actually wear your hearing protection, whether you think you need it or not. You do. Let them know that, guys. Tell them. Say, wear it. Tell us your story. Tell us your experiences, guys. Has shooting damaged your hearing? Do you feel like the damage has already been done? Do you see it worsening? I've noticed mine. I noticed my hearing, I noticed my tinnitus really getting worse progressively. Seemed like every year it would get worse and worse and worse for about 3 years, until about 2 years ago, it just kind of quit getting worse, and it's staying at that same level. And my prediction is that is when I really started wearing these electronic earmuffs hunting with my daughters a lot. They started going with me a lot, and that's when we invested in these. So I really think those gunshots, those few gunshots here and there, is what was causing my tinnitus, and it's what was worsening my tinnitus. So I think that it got to the point where, don't get me wrong, it's pretty bad and it's very noticeable. I hear it right now. You can go online and listen to different examples of what tinnitus sounds like, but it has not really worsened in the last couple years since I've been using these. I wear hearing protection when I'm on my mower, listen to music, not too loudly, but 3M makes one that's similar to this, got an antenna, AM, FM radio, it's got Bluetooth on it. Use those things, guys. Utilize them when you're making food plots, putting in food plots, cutting your grass, working in a factory or whatever you do, around machinery. Utilize hearing protection. It's too easy these days to find, come across, too readily available, and it's too affordable to not use it. So guys, there's all kinds of hearing tests you can do online. You can go online and check and see how your hearing is now, if you have any hearing loss or not. You can hear examples of what tinnitus sounds like. I think there's different types. Mine is a super high-pitched squeal. I'll even link one of those in the description as well. There's one that I found, I've looked at a lot of them, and there's one that is very, very, very close to what I experienced, and I will link that. From what I understand, there's treatments you can have done that will reduce or maybe even completely eliminate tinnitus. I'm not sure. Guys, it's just best to prevent it. It's just too easy to prevent, okay? Just, these things go on so easy. Man, when it's cold outside, sometimes my daughters will want to put these on just to keep their ears warm. They're that comfortable. They're cozy. They would tell you. So there's no reason not to, guys. For less than 50 bucks, you can have a pair of these at your doorstep in, before your next hunt in less than 2 days. You make awesome gifts. Christmas time coming up, or someone who has a birthday coming up, any hunter. I mean, you're talking a $50 gift, less than $50 gift, shipping and everything, shipping included, it's less than 50 bucks. And everyone needs to have a pair of these. So just discreetly ask, hey, do you have a pair of electronic earmuffs? If they say no and they're a hunter, they like to hunt, they spend time outside shooting guns, whether they hunt or not, give them a pair of these, they're gonna love them. I've given them as gifts, they're a big hit, I promise. They are very good value for the money. I wanna leave you with a hearing challenge. Here's my challenge to you. I don't care what age you are, I don't care if you are towards the end of your life and you've done all your hunting, you're teaching someone to shoot maybe. I don't care if you're just now starting out hunting, you're about to go on your first hunt, or you're about to start shooting guns to practice for your first hunt. Or maybe you just like shooting, you don't even care anything about hunting. For 1 year, give it 1 year, guys. Get you some hearing protection that you like to wear, and go 1 year from today. Note the date that you watched this video, get you the earmuffs. Do not fire a firearm for 1 year without wearing your hearing protection. And you see just how convenient it is, all right? So I understand if it's rut, right, and these bucks come running in chasing does, you're not expecting it, it happens out of nowhere. I understand, but you know what? You hear something long before you see it most times. You're gonna hear it long before you're gonna maybe even see it, if you can see a long ways, long before you actually have your shot. You've got the discretionary time to put these on. I'm guilty of not doing it. Even while I have these, I'm guilty of not doing that. But guys, it's very, very easy to just take these and just slap them on. That quick, I had them on, volumes on, wide open, I'm ready to go. How long did that take? 1 second. So just do it, guys. 1 year. Take 1 year, do that for me. That's my challenge to you, all right? 1 year, no shooting without your hearing protection. Guys, it's the #1 thing I'm seeing all over social media, all over YouTube, all over TV. There are a lot of safety precautions that we take that we all know to do, that we're all good at. We're all good at wearing our orange. We're almost all good nowadays at wearing our safety harness when we leave the ground. That's too simple and too easy not to do as well. But very, very few of us are very faithful to wear our ear pro. So guys, let's get better with that. I can't keep my silence any longer. I keep seeing it over and over, and especially with kids. It's 2023 now, or maybe later if you're watching this video. So get you a set of electronic earmuffs and never look back, all right? So guys, if you haven't, check out some of the hunts on our channel. We've got some really good youth hunts on our channel. Whitley and Jessa are tagging along with us. We're laying down some nice deer here in the state of Georgia, and the Lord's really blessing us. He's blessing our channel. Thank you so much for following the channel, following along with us, and for sharing with your friends. And we want you guys to know that this is a channel you can always feel safe to put up on the big screen in front of the whole family with the kids in the evenings, not worry about what's going to be said or done on it. And that's the way we're going to keep it. So we appreciate you guys' support. Guys, in the comments, you've got hearing loss, tinnitus. Tell us your story, what you think it came from. I want to encourage you, I want to motivate you, and I want to challenge you to wear your ear pro.